So, this affair statistic is going to shock you. It shocked me when I discovered it this morning. If someone is married, engaged, or in a long term partnership when the affair happens, and they get affection from their straying partner as they're on their affair recovery journey, but almost nothing else, like really they don't get any real talking, they don't get any real apologies, they just get affection. And they report that they're married, engaged, or in a long term partnership. They have an 88% probability of reconciling from the affair. Can you believe that? Just affection after the affair makes such a big difference. I couldn't believe this. So let me show you how I arrived at that conclusion and you can tell me what you think. It's a little bit detailed, so we got to go to the chart. Hang on. So this is something called a CART decision tree. And basically what we did was we took all the data from the thousands of people that responded to our surveys and put it into this supercomputer. It's basically a fancy statistical program, and it prints out this graphic. And this graphic is essentially a decision tree where this is showing all the different pathways that somebody could take to arrive at a decision of reconciliation. And it's interesting and complicated, and I'm going to just give you a very basic overview. But we start at the top of the tree, and the first branch of the tree happens based on somebody's relationship status. So this arm of the tree is for people that are widowed, divorced, or never married. All the rest is connected to this arm of the tree, which is people who are engaged in long-term partnerships or married. So if we just know that you are divorced, never married, or widowed, we can predict your likelihood to reconcile from an affair just based on, did your partner help you by validating your feelings? If they did, and that is denoted by a 1, then you have a 58% probability of reconciliation. If your partner didn't validate your feelings, then you have a 3% chance of reconciling. So not super great. But if you were engaged, long-term partnership, or married, you have a much more complicated pathway. So the one I want to focus on is this 88% probability of reconciliation pathway, because it broke my heart when I realized what this was. So I'm going to show you this, but I'm going to just read to you the significance, and the way we figure out our way here is we start here, then we go to this pathway, which is, did your partner help by answering your questions? If the answer is 0 here, that means no. Then once that happens, we come down to the next question. So it's convoluted. I promise I'm going to publish all the research on my website, but here's what it means to get to this 88% probability of reconciliation. So they were married, engaged, or in a long-term partnership. Then we said, did your partner answer your questions? No. Did you get affection? Yes. Did your partner block the AP? No. Did your partner help with chores? No. Did you get friends and family, support from friends and family? Minimal, so some. No or some. Did your partner continue lying to you? Yes. Did you get any help from social media pages like this one? No. Did your partner blame you for the affair? So that's what's happening here. Partner blame, I don't remember, no, not at all, goes this way. Did your partner blame you? Yes, a little, or yes, a lot. Then this shows us they have an 88% probability of reconciliation. Only 2% of people fit into this group, but it shows that they're likely to reconcile. So can you believe that? It's shocking to me to think that someone would get almost nothing, right? Not get their questions answered, get no support, get almost nothing. They just have this marriage and then they're getting some affection, and they're on the basis of that, they're deciding that, yeah, they should reconcile. Then I thought about it for a minute longer and I was like, oh, this is heartbreaking. This is a person who has no other options. This is a person who is currently being abused, maybe, and feels like this is the best they can do, the best they can get. Or maybe this person has been previously traumatized or has health issues or is injured somehow and feels they can't get out of this relationship. Or maybe there are children and they're staying there to protect the children. But this is a heartbreaking circumstance. And I'm really glad that only 2% of people fell into this category. But the fact that it exists really just sort of shook me this morning. So, what do you think about this? I know it was a really long explanation, but what are your thoughts on this? I would love to hear from you because you greatly enhance my ability to think about these things. So, let me know your thoughts.